Hey, hey, everyone. I hope that you guys can hear me. I hope that you guys can see me. I hope that I'm coming through crystal clear because this conversation right here, y'all, this was brought to me. So I was like, let me bring it to my people. But before we get too far into it, let me do what I always do and welcome everybody to the Sunday Sit Down. It is a space for safe truth, transformation, and elevated conversations. I am your host, the one and only Nicole LaTreece, a mindset elevation coach, a powerhouse woman, and your guide through life's realest moments, right? Because life really be happening, y'all. I don't know if it happens to y'all, but it happens to me. So here at the Sunday Sit Down, we peel back the layers, challenge what no longer serves us, and step fully into who we are meant to be, boldly, beautifully, and unapologetically. So it's time to take a deep breath and come on and join me and sit down. Welcome, everyone, all my Facebook people, my YouTube viewers, Instagram Live. We are here. It is another beautiful Sunday. Life is truly amazing. Some great things have been happening for me and in my life, and I hope the same thing for you. But enough about all that. I'll get into all that a little bit later. I want to get into this very topic that was brought to me. So I engage in conversation with quite a few different people, and we get to talking about several different things. And I'm all about all forms of communication, no matter what you want to talk about, no matter how you sound, no matter how your brain works. Bring it to your girl. I can handle it and I'm ready for it, right? But this particular question that was posed to me, I found it. Y'all see I'm getting settled into my seat. I hope y'all are too. I found it very interesting because it was presented to me from someone who I will say challenges me from time to time. Sometimes the challenging can be annoying, but it's all a space of good growth, right? And that's what we're really on this earth and genuinely designed to do. Sorry. So the question that was posed to me is what makes a woman qualified for a man to be monogamous only to her? Now, I'm trying to keep myself contained because this very type of question can make individuals go left, right, left, right. This type of conversation, this type of question, depending on sorry, I'm cleaning my glasses. I should have done it before I got on camera, but like I said, life really happens. But this type of question can make the questioner and the questionee feel some type of way because it does have a, no, that made it worse. It does have a very significant word in it, right? The word I am referring to is qualified. In life, we have to qualify everything, or we should at least, we should be qualifying everything that we engage in when it comes to this very thing called life. This is the only one we have. This is what matters. But there are a lot of people who are challenged, I feel, and from working with several other people in a negative way when someone asks them what their qualifications are. Like, especially when it comes to more so of the personal space. Because when you're applying for a job, you list your qualifications. Nine times out of 10, they don't ask you because you have to submit a resume before they even think about considering you for the job. And I think that we've been programmed with that so much to where it's just like in the personal space, people don't feel like they should have to give their qualifications. They don't feel as though that should be communicated or conveyed verbally. It's like, here I am. But I don't know you from Adam and you don't know me from Eve. So if we're talking about this space of qualifications, yes, please show me your qualifications so I can see if you are a right fit for the position. So let's first approach this question honestly. And I'm hoping, at some point, since it's 7 o'clock, that the person who actually presented this question to me, he told me he was going to come jump in and partake in the conversation. We'll see if he's going to do that. But let's talk about defining the question honestly. What is qualification when it comes to this relationship and dating space? Is it about somebody's worthiness? Is it about their value, the value that you place on someone else? Because and he is here, y'all. Sorry. He has joined the conversation. So I'm put it up there, so y'all can see, say hello. But what is this word qualify? What does it have to do with in the space of should a what qualification should a woman have for a man to be monogamous only to her? Are you saying I'm not worthy of your monogamy? Maybe you don't value what monogamy means the same way that I value monogamy. Or maybe society has programmed you to say, you know what, like, no, we don't have to do what everybody else do. No, we don't, but we gotta do what we finna do at the end of the day. Like sometimes there is how can I say this? So with the way the question is presented or was presented, for someone of a different mind than the mind that I possess, someone could feel like there are certain things that they may have to do to earn it. And before we okay, let me dial it back. I can't speak for every woman, right? Just like I surely cannot speak for every man. But for some people, the word monogamy translates directly into loyalty because monogamy, for a basic definition, means that I am the one that you are choosing to engage with. It may be in this season, it may be for only a reason, it may be for a lifetime. And even with all three of those, that that plays a part in how this thing and this conversation is going to go. So y'all help me stay on track because ooh, this question. But for me, it translates into loyalty because if I am giving of myself, right? If I am giving of my mind, if I am giving of my time, if I am giving of my body for sure, if I am giving of my spiritual essence to you as a man, yeah, at some point, this thing is going to have to be monogamous. And I'm trying to keep my thoughts together because I was engaging in another conversation with said individual before this. But when this question is blankly asked of women, because it was expressed to me to say, a woman should know this. A woman should know what makes her qualified for a man to be monogamous only to her. And I'm like, how? My first thought, because then when I had time to sit with it, y'all know me. When we get down in that deepest part of the ocean of my mind, it's a whole lot that comes uncovered down there. But how is a woman able to answer this question really? Like she can say what she thinks, she can say what she perceives as her qualifications in order to be monogamous to her or wifey material. Y'all terms, not mine, but I got to put it all out there. But a woman, in my opinion, is not really going to fully know or maybe even fully be able to articulate. That's better. Fully be able to articulate to a man what makes her qualified for someone to be monogamous only to her. And also, that man that she's conveying it to may not even be interested in her to want to even have the desire to be monogamous with her. There are a lot of layers in this onion that once it all gets peeled back, it's going to leave some people crying, but it's also the hope to leave a lot of people thinking. But in presenting this question in that way, someone of a different mind than mine could feel pressure to earn someone's monogamy or earn someone's loyalty, earn someone's faithfulness, right? Monogamy means you're not engaging with anyone else. And I would like to challenge you, my viewers, get specific about your level of monogamy that you're looking for. From the jump, and some people will say this is crazy, some people will say it's not the ways of the world. I'm very aware of the ways of the world, and I'm very aware of the ways of how I operate. I don't talk to people who talk to other people, right? And with that, what I mean is, if there is somebody that you're really engaging with, if there's somebody that you're really like spending time with, y'all are invested to a certain degree, if y'all are knocking each other down, I'm not the one for you from the jump. One, because I've been on that other side. I don't wish to partake in knowingly be someone that interrupts somebody else's relationship, situationship, sneaky link, engagement, like not marriage engagement, but I mean the act of two people engaging with one another. That's what I mean moving forward when I say engagement. Because if y'all out here engaged and trying to do other stuff, y'all wrong. It's down there. But that pressure that comes from, what do you mean? What makes me qualified? This is the second layer of my mind. I'm on my ludicrous. How you ain't go, girl? I'm me. I'm the captain. The reason you're a VIP. I'm qualified because I've already been qualified, right? So that goes for me in a whole bunch of different ways. I'm qualified because he made me qualified. He has told me, he has shown me that I am qualified for a man, not no grown boy, not no boy, a grown man to be monogamous only to me. As far as like the actual attributes that I possess, yeah, I can say, you know, I look good. I can hold a conversation. I'm very interested in getting to know someone. But half the time, I can't say half the time, some of the time, that stuff may not be important to that person because they're already looking at me with a set of designated thoughts, dreams, um, perceptions. There's so many different words. They're already looking at me in a specific way to say, okay, she's qualified for this. We have to qualify people from the moment that we start engaging. Ah, she look good. She's qualified for me to talk to her. Ah, she moves nice. Like if I'm out dancing or something like that, she's qualified for this level of what word am I looking for? Attention. I'll put it out there like that. Ah, she a go-getter. She's qualified for me to do, you know what I'm saying? And it goes the same way. It goes back and forth. Women have sometimes spoken in quiet qualifications that they're looking for when it comes to a man, just like a man has certain quiet and spoken qualifications that he's looking for in a woman. But and I have to ask this ain't my perspective, but since we asking questions around here, is monogamy still the goal? Is monogamy still the thing that people look forward to, kind of on their own? Not from the sake of, well, my parents have been married for 40 plus years. Yeah, that's a good thing to look up to. That's a good thing to aspire to. But in those 40 years, you also don't know the trials and tribulations that they had to face within those 40 years and still chose to stay together. Because at the end of the day, society will tell you nowadays that Monogamy is a choice, and it is. For a woman like me, monogamy is a decision. So the difference in what I said right there is when people make choices, and this, was kind of put into my perspective from Mr. Greenwood Cure himself, it's a choice to only look at one person, right? God gave us eyes, He gave us desires, He gave us, everything that we feel. He gave us free will, right? And in doing so, not everyone exercises their free will the same. Everyone looks, you can't help to notice different variations of people, men and women that cross your path. A choice is, mm, I seen her, but I'm not really gonna look though. A decision is I'm with this person. I'm engaging. Like I'm happy. I don't need to look for nothing else. I don't, care to look at nothing else. However that works for you. Or another situation could be, I don't even want to touch that cheating aspect. Just all right, so conversation was had, multiple partners. That ain't my cup of tea. It ain't. I don't have no no desire for it whatsoever. That's me. But if I meet someone who that is a preference that they have, okay, cool. I respect your preference, but that doesn't apply over here. There are other people that are willing to engage in you getting down like that, but that speaks to me also that you're not interested in a monogamous relationship like I am. Y'all, people don't understand how hard it is to entertain multiple people. And I mean, when you're like in a full-fledged relationship, locked in, feelings is involved, bodies is involved, all of it's a lot to try to manage all of that at one time. The most successful player cannot do that alone. We not wired to be able to handle so much. And the sad part is when you do that, you're actually overstimulating yourself and something suffers. You ain't got enough energy in the world, bruh. You ain't got enough energy in the world, sis. But whatever works for you is what works for you. But you cannot get upset when other people don't share that same view. So, like, is monogamy nowadays, is it a myth? Is it a real belief that still has true value in society as we see it today? Because um ninjas, they say that they be cool with it, and they may be cool with it for a while, but then at some point they stop being cool with it. Being in a relationship, it requires you to evolve every step of your relationship. Because as y'all get more locked in, two become one, even before two become one. So if you are not invested in being with one person, you need to make that clear from the jump. Because some, like women like me, you know, there's a place where that belief actually comes from. I know mine, I've lived it, right? I know what it's like to come from a broken family. I know what it's like to come from a broken home. I know what it's like for people to cheat on each other. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that for my child either. If you think about, if you go back to Noah's Ark, the animals went in the ark two by two, one male and one female. It wasn't one male and two concubines. It wasn't one male and I can't even say it out here, but a gaggle of y'all feeling that word. No, two by two, one male and one female. They were chosen to do that. That's a part of what monogamy is. So if we talking about choices, and it still comes down to the same way, you choose the person that you want to exclusively engage with, or you make a decision to. So with a choice, you looking at everything for what it is in that moment. You're not thinking far down the road. You're not thinking about um what the future looks like. You're like, okay, right now, this woman has the qualifications that I'm looking for right now. But as you engage more and more and more, those qualifications to move to the next level, they evolve as they should be. But if the woman is not fully qualified for the end goal, why you messing with her in the beginning? That's a question I'd really like to know. Because if some people would pay attention to it from the standpoint of that way, there's a whole lot that they wouldn't be doing that they doing now. It's a whole lot that they wouldn't be experiencing because they didn't look at the qualifications for the future at this moment right now. Yeah, she got a nice body. Yeah, her butt or her breasts look nice. Yeah, like whatever y'all be thinking, because I ain't no man. I'm just going off of what people done told me, what men have told me. But where does that get you at the end of the day? If that's all you looking at, if that's all you paying attention to, that comes a dime a dozen. It's billions of people on this planet. But if you're not looking deeper, if you're not looking at what it is that you need in your life in that woman, you ain't never gonna get where you need to be. Men or women. Monogamy as a mindset should be looked at as a reward, not an obligation. There's a level of commitment that comes with it. But if you feel that, I gotta do this, and you looking at that for monogamy, yeah, you don't you need to make yourself clear from the jump. You'll probably be alone for a little bit. And the same is true vice versa. Whenever you speak what it is that you need or what you desire, what you're looking for from the jump, you're qualifying that person in your life before you start engaging with that person in your life. That matters because all of this is supposed to be an evolutionary process, right? You're supposed to meet someone, become attracted to them, date, get to know each other more, figure out what y'all want to do, relationship, situationship, cuddy buddies, like whatever it is, make it known. That way, at the end of the day, can't nobody really get mad, but they do because it continues to evolve. As long as you engage with somebody most times, this ain't always the case, and then just be trying to do the opposite of the norm. Many times when you choose to engage with someone for a certain period of time and y'all are doing what you do, you settle into a routine, you settle into a nice way of life, like at some point, someone wants to make sure that that thing is what it is and that it's permanent, right? And a lot of people, it used to be women really, but now it's people. A lot of people are scared to ask those types of questions. What are we doing? Am I the only person that you're sleeping with, talking to, interested in? Why not know your quote unquote position in that person's life at every step of the way? Hey, are you feeling me or nah? We've been, doing this thing for 10 years. What's up? Do we still need to continue to do this thing, or do we need to, try to figure out something else? These are the types of questions that need to be had. These are the types of questions that, with this question, what qualifies a woman for a man to be monogamous only to her? These are the types of questions that should spark more answers and more questions that you should be having in your own house. My question to Mr. Greenwood Cure himself is, what do men actually consider when choosing exclusivity with a woman? Now, I understand not every man wants to be exclusive. Not every man wants to be monogamous. Not every man wants to be in a position to where he has to be faithful. But can you enlighten me and my viewers? What are some things that men consider when choosing exclusivity? And if there are any other guys that are watching this too, let us know, right? I'm not saying that you specifically have to be saying this to me. I'm not asking what makes me qualified. And I ain't even talked on my second point of what makes me qualified. But I'm not asking what makes me qualified. I am asking what are some things that men look for when it comes to designating a woman as qualified for you guys to be monogamous only to her? Is it your emotional connection? Does she create a safe space for you to be who you are? Express how you express yourself. Real men cry. They do. God gave us all feelings. Does she allow you to freely express yourself? Is it the value system that she has that makes you consider her the one you want to be monogamous to? Is it just the right time? I got to this point in my life where I had done this, that, and the third, and everything else was copacetic and it was worked out. So the timing was right. Maybe it's you feel this sense of readiness to allow yourself to be monogamous to one woman. What is it? Come on, Mr. Greenwood Cure. Don't get quiet now. While he's thinking, I will put it into the perspective of it's a lot of different things, and it's different for every individual, every man. There may be some, if I was to, and I might do this, I might take a survey of men, but there may be some similar things. I don't want to call them basic because when you qualifying somebody, ain't nothing basic. But there may be some similar things that they have in common. Maybe that she's God-fearing, maybe that she knows how to cook, maybe that she, takes care of the house and the kids well. Maybe, I liked her independence a little bit to where I could come in and show her what I was about without her, just 100% needing me. I don't know if dudes be thinking like that, but I'm just putting, information out there. But I would like to think that it is several different things, right? I would say one is possibly the role of maturity because it does take a man, in my opinion, on a certain level of maturity to designate that he is wanting to be monogamous to a woman, or he's wanting to be monogamous to his woman, right? Then you have intention. It's like, okay, like she been rocking with me, and this is, kind of like an analogy that y'all have heard before. You met him when he had nothing, right? Trying to figure out his life, trying to figure out himself. You was there in the trenches with him. You held him down while he built, I'm sorry. And because of that expression of how she valued what you needed to do at that time and she didn't judge you for it, that designated to you, all right, cool. I want her to be only with her, right? Or sometimes it's just proper alignment. Like maybe you are the type of person where everybody else and their mama let you get away with absolutely everything. You literally could get away with bloody murder, hide a body in the backyard, and they right out there digging up the grave for you to put the body in the backyard. But then you meet a woman who is just like not in an aggressive way, but just in a naturally challenging way to you. Hey, you doing this ain't necessarily the best. Or in the analogy of the person trying to build, I see what you're doing. I see how hard you're working. I see where your efforts and your intention are going. If you were to maybe do this, and she's not telling you you have to, but she's offering what do they call it? Her intellectual property as a means to help you grow. If a woman is doing that for you, why wouldn't you consider her qualified for you to be monogamous to her? Some men will take that proprietary intellectual information and they'll run with it and they'll leave the woman, kind of where she is. But why? Because you're only getting a piece of it. There's so much that comes with monogamy, faithfulness, loyalty. And like I said, I can only speak for myself. I'm here to build us together. And I'm not telling you, whatever you're doing is wrong or it's inferior or insufficient. It's none of that. But if you trust me enough to come into your life and you're opening up to me about what you have going on in your life, and I hear you express a concern, I'm not always going to have something to say. But if I can tell through our interactions that you value my presence in that particular situation, I'll offer it. It's yours to do whatever you will or won't do with it. But I'm not pressuring anyone to feel like if I say something, you got to take what I say and go with it. No, we building over here. We all, like I said earlier, we not where we want to be, right? Some people are happier with their lives and the resources that they have. Some people are more content with the space that they, currently operate in. But we have our own things about what makes us qualified within our own lives. Like, this takes me to my second. So I said he qualified me first, right? The Lord has qualified me. I am qualified because I am qualified, right? And that's me qualifying myself. I'm not delusional. I'm not the type of person who's just like, I'm sipping on my own coffee and, the hell with everybody else proverbially. No, I've been through what I've been through, especially when it comes through the relationship space. I have, from the time I started dating at 16, I have dated all different types of individuals, right? And I have dated individuals on all different types of levels. That's to be expected. I, myself personally, marriage was never the end goal. When I say it was never the end goal, it's ironic because, I'm talking about a space of being monogamous, right? When I say marriage was not the end goal as I saw it, monogamy always was. I come from a broken home, right? And I've seen unhappy marriages around me. I always knew I wanted to be with one person, but actually being married to one person, it was never in the vision plan. Ironic, I know. How can you be with one person and y'all don't ever get married? Well, it's possible. People have done it and they've been successful at it, and monogamy has played a part in that. Like, monogamy is the decision, marriage is the choice. Because some of y'all is married and it's transactional. You needed someone to come in and fill a void, fill a unspoken need, fill an unmet expectation, fill a space where you are operating at a lower standard. Terrence Jones, shout out to him. You know, that's my financial co-host. We're gonna be linking up next week to talk to y'all about actually what it takes to repair your credit. Make sure you come back and tune into that episode. But he said it best. In the way society is right now, how we have quite a few people, men and women, who are operating at such lower standards, no standards, or operating as unwhole people, what you won't do, the next one will. So if you feel as though I'm not qualified for whatever reason for you to be monogamous to me only, and you go find someone else, you still have to start your process all over again. You're still putting yourself in a position to where you have to figure out what makes women qualified for you to be monogamous to them. But that to me, as a life coach, it speaks to your self worth, right? To some degree of your self worth, how you view yourself, maybe what it is that you want out of your life, where it is that you're actually trying to go, maybe your lack of vision. I'm not too sure. But if you don't, I'm gonna talk to the male side and I'm gonna talk to the female side. I'm talk to the male side first. If you, as a man who's supposed to be the head, the leader, the person in the front, the person on the side when we walk on the street, the person who takes the bullet, the person who protects and saves me, if you are supposed to be any of those things, and if you pride yourself on your abilities prior to meeting me, then you should be able to already know what makes me qualified to be monogamous to you, right? And even on a basic level, like y'all, some people in this world, they're crazy. If I'm monogamous to you, why wouldn't you be monogamous to me? Again, it goes back to them choices and decisions. Are you out here making decisions? Meaning, have you thought about so many things down the line, what life can look like? Not to where you get trapped into it. Don't do that. That's a disservice to yourself because you can fantasize about, what it is that you want. Oh, I want a, nice life. I want my husband to be attractive. I want us to build this wealth. I want us to have kids. You can have a basic vision of that, but you do yourself a disservice when you get too locked into all of the fine details. My opinion, God wants to see where your mind is at. He wants to see what trajectory you want to head in. And because he has known you since before you were in your mama's womb, that's verse, not me. He already know who you finna end up with. He already know what type of individual you finna rock with, right? But it's okay to say, I want it to be this type of individual. It's okay to have your standards as something that you will actually have in place because all of that speaks to your self worth. When your self worth is whole, when you are healed, when you know where it is that you're trying to go, when you're working whatever steps or whatever part of the plan or process needed to put you into that forward trajectory, everything else will come into play. And when you do that and you commit to that and you really live that out, then you're operating in a whole new space because there's a difference between being chosen and someone choosing. Being chosen for some people, y'all know I have talked about having abandonment issues previously, abandonment challenges. And in my space of abandoned feelings, my abandoned way of living, all I wanted was to be chosen. Didn't have no like real designation of how do I want to be chosen? Like, what does it mean to me to be chosen as someone who doesn't feel like they had what they felt they needed? And then it transformed into my romantic relationship spaces. I just wanted to be chosen, meaning I just wanted somebody to be like, you know what? All right, cool. Like, you this, you that, we do this, we do that, we done built this and that. Like, I just want to be with you. Okay. That felt good in that moment, but it was a being chosen of the circumstances at that time. It was not necessarily choosing for our future, right? Being someone who is now more on the healed side of the spectrum. Choosing is something that you have to do every day. Every day that we're gonna be together, every day that we're gonna rock and we're gonna engage with one another. It's something that you have to be choosing every day. Seeing me at my worst when I don't feel good and I'm sick as a dog, throwing up, everything else. It's choosing to, all right, I want to be with her. This is a temporary experience. It's a human thing that happens. We're all spiritual beings and going through a human experience. But sometimes people will throw monogamy out the window when more of that human experience starts to come into play, in my opinion. And for women prior to now, it was very difficult because we think more on the romantic side, right? So we are the lovey dovey, touchy feely, um, go out of our way to like really show you, hey, it's your birthday. Like, I celebrate you on your birthday. Like, tell me what you like, what you want, what you don't want. Like, we cater in that way, right? And men are starting to do it now more, but traditionally, it was the women that, would go be more thoughtful because for us, that is what's kind of been programmed in us. It's like we have to be able to do and present and give specific things which equate to our value if we can secure a man, if we can then get a marriage. If a man can choose to be monogamous to us, we won. Society back in the 40s and the 50s, like the times when women had to ask men even for permission to do a bank account. If we executed certain things, we won. If we did what it takes for a man to see and feel and determine our value, we won. We did what we were supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? Because even in this space of what makes a woman qualify for a man to be monogamous only to her, there are so many times where conversations have been brought up where it's just like a woman has been told she's too aggressive. What is aggressive? Tell me and I'm speaking as though I'm that woman. Tell me in the moment, what about my behavior makes you feel that I'm being aggressive? Because I'm being forthcoming with information, because I'm not taking no sugar honey iced tea, because I'm giving right back to you what it is that you're giving me in a healthy way, because I have a mind and I choose to use it. What makes me aggressive in this moment? It's been presented that, oh, women need to be more feminine. Okay, not every woman is the same, and not every woman exudes their feminine energy the same way. So, what am I doing in this moment that makes you feel like I'm not being feminine? Sometimes by default, I am a woman, so that means I am feminine. For women, they have to emulate what their environment has produced in them to not be as feminine. But if a woman is single, she got kids, she got a job, she running her own business, she has to do what she has to do. But that's not, to me, that's not a matter of feminine or masculine. But for some people, some men, when they see women having to engage like that, or they're coming off of a season of, all right, like I want to be with somebody. I want somebody to help to balance me, not my life, me. Being able to have that counterbalance allows more of the feminine side to come out. But I had to ask somebody today, I said, you like me being feisty, don't you? Because by nature, like in my natural element, in who I am, having this conversation with y'all right now, I am a cool, calm, and collected individual. My life and everything that I've been through has told me this is my reward for everything that I did and everything that I put out there. But this is not the only part of who I am. Thank you, Dee Dee. Facts. Yes, it's true. But this is not the only part of who I am. When you call my energy, depending on the type of energy that you call from me, you gonna get exactly what you call. So if you are sparking feisty behavior or a feisty response, you gonna get feistiness. If you want softness, figure out what it takes to activate my softness. Like I said, I'm a single woman right now, and I am on the go. When I mean I'm on the go, I am about to take off, right? Business is popping. My kid is about to come out here and start living with me. I I don't feel like I'm fully activated as the woman that I'm about to be, right? So if anyone is engaging with me prior to this point or even meeting me at this point, there's still an evolution that I'm going through. So you're going to see more and more, but some people designate it as, oh, you switching it up. No, boo boo. I am who I am outside of what any man thinks, right? So my identity is my identity. I live in it. I exude it. I walk with it present every step of the way. My purpose, I just told y'all, business is popping. In that regard, I have activated. I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to serve and to be of service. There are many ways that I can do that. God is showing me it's okay to do them according to his will. And then my self-awareness, so somebody who previously experienced abandonment challenges. I didn't see myself prior to this space of my life, right? So when I got divorced, moved back to Tulsa almost 4 years. Well, yeah, it's 4 years ago now. Prior to that, I'm 41, 40, 39, 38, 37. So at 37, for 37 years of my life, I did not see me. I was there. I went through life. I had all the experiences that are on this left side. This represents the past for me. This represents the future. Just so y'all know, 37 years of my life, I didn't see myself. So if I didn't see myself, I wasn't aware of what I wanted, what I didn't want, who I was willing to engage with. There were so many things that I didn't see to where it's just like now, like, no, I can go through a whole experience with my eyes wide open. I just did it, right? And people be like, man, you crazy. Then why did you do it for so long? Because I needed to see what I needed to see, despite the foolishness that somebody else was trying to present. But the difference between abandon Nicole would have just stayed in it, stuck it out, just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of having a warm body, somebody that I could inconsistently know was going to be around and be there. Somebody that I could be like, ah, like I ain't talked to him in a week, but I know he gonna come back. Nicole now, y'all just saw my face. Nicole now, hell no. That is not what I want, right? So that is a part of what makes me qualified. I know what I do and don't want. I know what I will and won't accept. I know what is and isn't within alignment with me. And if you are a male who challenges that, bring it on. I'm cool for that. But you're not going to challenge me in a way to where it's just like you challenge me to change me for your benefit. I'm vocal. Monogamy is something that I believe in, is something that I get down with. Do you really get down with that too? If you say no, all right, cool. We don't pass go, don't collect $200. We don't have nothing else to talk about. And it's okay because I'm still not judging you for what it is that you do. I'm just not gonna let you do what you do with me because that don't work. And this thing of qualifying people for monogamy, it could really be that simple. But you have to qualify yourself first in order to determine if monogamy is for you or if it's not. Monogamy is something that can be healthy, right? If you know that it is a person who is locked in with you, if you know it's a person who's locked in like you, if you know it's a person that y'all are two individuals trying to attain the same goal trajectory, if you know that you have a person who can calm your nervous system when the rest of the world drives you crazy or tries to upset you, when you have somebody who's invested in you, when you have somebody that wants to see God's best come to fruition in your life, if you have a woman like that in your life, or if you are fortunate enough to meet a woman that possesses those types of qualifications, hold on in more ways than one. Hold on to her. Because monogamy nowadays, like when you're not monogamous, oh, there's so much foolishness that can follow you and you don't even know it. There's so much that you don't know that other people be on, right? You don't know the lies, and I just gotta speak to men because that's you don't know the lies that spill out as a result. So if you telling this other woman one thing and she's believing it and she's getting invested in and all that, and you may find you a crazy one. Oh baby, she gonna blow you up like an IED in war, right? Because you've done something to her that you knew you weren't intentional about. You got the physical aspect, all these people that y'all, are laying down with. Hey, some of these people is carrying stuff physically that they not willing to talk to you about. And when you find it out, they don't always want to stick around because they look at you as tainted. They look at you as damaged. But the ones that gave it to you, that's the way this world and this dating pool operates. But monogamy should be a mutual agreement rooted in respect, values, and a shared vision. It's not necessarily something that a woman should have to qualify for. It is a woman should be qualified for it. And if she does not fall within the designation of your qualifications, that's cool. Stand on your standards, bruh. But don't go too far down the rabbit hole with her, knowing that you don't feel like she's qualified because she's the best thing right now. Y'all kill me with that. Like, it's a certain level of, I say this, like, bring a table to the table so that way we can eat buffet style. Right? Because in our own respective tables, we are going to have our own things that are on there. I'm vegetarian, you may be a meat eater, right? I may eat vegetables. You don't like vegetables. I may not really do sugar, but you like sugar on everything. Whatever the case may be, we have stuff on our own respective tables that is going to kind of fight for space. And then in the middle, we have what we feel needs to be on the table. And if we put more of what needs to be on the table, all of our individual stuff that doesn't need to be there should naturally begin to fall off. I don't know if y'all remember, but there's like an old school game at the arcade, and I think it's rigged for people to lose. But it's the one that has the shelf that keeps going back and forth that scoots coins down, right, off the shelf. That's how your table should be. Side to side. Once you put that coin, once you put that set of values, once you put monogamy in this case at the center of your table, the joint part of your table, anything that is not within your agreement for monogamy should begin to fall off the edge of the table. Anything that fall off the edge of the table, let them dogs eat it. Okay? Them people who are not trying to do that very thing that you're trying to do, let them have them crumbs. Let them have that rotten food. Let them have that rotten fruit because that's what they're seeking below your table. But you also have to qualify the person that's sitting next to you at that table. Like this is this is a honest conversation. Thank you. It's my Uncle Gary. He said, sorry, y'all. Yeah, he told me to tell y'all the truth, 100%. It's honesty. And in my conversation, like I know that I am built different. I know I am. Like the way I think, the way I value what I value, the way that it is that I want the things that I want. My life and what I have been through have told me that I am worthy. Because in a space where I didn't feel like I was, my life has shown me that I am worthy of the type of love that I desire. And I have to do in my single space what I feel is necessary to continue to be qualified. Like I have let me see if I can find it for y'all real quick. I have a space where I write down, the things that I'm looking for. And before now, like I'm the type of person when business is popping, my personal relationships, they suck. Like intimate relationships, they suck. And then when my intimate relationships are good, my workspace sucks. So right now, I am in a space where I am letting God lead the way. And I have a part of my prayer that I do every morning, and it's a love declaration because I want love, right? I want to find that person who is for me and that person who feels like I am for them. Qualifications be damned. Like we don't even have to use that word. That's the type of love that it is that I want. But it's a love declaration. And I'll read it to you as my closing remarks. But this goes to speak on in a society that says certain things are the norm for others. I was designed truly to stand up and stand out because I know that when I'm activated in love, oh baby, he better watch out and he better be ready for it. So the love declaration is called He's on the Way. And it says, I am preparing my heart for the kind of love I no longer have to question. A love that is intentional, honest, and rooted in truth. I no longer settle for fragments. I am ready for fullness. I call in a man who is whole within himself, yet humble enough to keep growing. A man who shows up with presence, not just promises. A man whose consistency is a language of love, who chooses communication over confusion, accountability over avoidance, and building over just benefiting. He will clearly see me, not just my beauty, but my depth, not just my power, but my peace. He will match my energy with effort, my vulnerability with safety, my vision with partnership. He will be led by purpose. He will honor God, honor love, and honor me. With him, I will not have to chase clarity because he will offer it. I will not have to fight for a seat at the table because he will pull the chair out. And together, we will create a love that feels like home, not perfect, but real, rooted, restorative. Because I am ready for love that mirrors the woman I've become. And I know he's on the way. And monogamy comes with it. So like for me, baby, when it's time to pour it out, oh, it is gonna flow forth like the Niagara Falls. But I have to wait for the person who God has meant for me. And I'm doing that patiently. Thank you, Uncle Gary. So, my family comes in here from time to time to give me encouragement and support. And this is my Uncle Gary. Thank you for watching. And he's just giving me like encouragement to know that the previous generation, my granny, my pawpaw, like all of them, I agree with you, Unc. I feel like they would be proud of me for stepping into and showing exactly who it is that I am and who the people who have preceded me have poured into me to be. Thank you for sharing that with me. And for you guys, like, figure out what level of monogamy you trying to be on. Or if you are even trying to be monogamous, let's really get more honest. Let's get more rooted. Let's get more definitive about talking about the things that it is when it comes to this space of relationship. And this whole conversation was about monogamy in a romantic space, but it also applies to some degree in your platonic spaces too. Like, what type of friends are you looking for? We talking now for the future. What type of people is it that you want in your life to be able to help you get to whatever level it is that you're looking for? If you're in business, it's the same thing. Like I'm at a space right now where I'm ready for covenant because where this thing is going. Y'all mark my words. I'm not meant to do it by myself. And I'm cool with that. But I do have to qualify who I am, what the plan is, and the people that are meant to join me along the way. So with that being said, Mr. Greenwood Cure, you didn't do what you said you was gonna do. You said you was gonna engage in the conversation, but it's okay, y'all. He's scared. I usually tend to have that effect on people. Nah, I'm just playing. I know him in real life, so he know I'm playing with him. But thank you guys for joining me tonight on this episode of the Sunday Sit Down, where we talked about what makes a woman qualified for a man to be monogamous only to her. Don't let the conversation stop here. Continue to engage in the comments and the chats. I look at them all throughout the week, leading up until the next episode and beyond. If y'all have any questions that pertain to insight or anything about like qualifications when it comes to significant others, hit your girl up. Let me know. I probably am gonna put out that poll. I'm gonna ask a couple questions from some fellas in my life, so I can get a good, poll gauge to see what type of questions I need to put on, or what type of responses I need to put on there. And then there'll be a section that says other, of course, because everyone thinks differently, right? But until next time, as always, please, please, please go out. Look forward to living a good life filled with real love and all of the above. Thank y'all again, and I will see y'all next week for Financial Sunday with Terrence Jones. We will be talking about how to, like, some steps that you can actually do. Because last week we took y'all on a journey of awareness of trying to see where you are within your financial journey to see where you need to go. Now, this Sunday, we're going to continue our journey and we're going to actually give you some actual steps, some actual tips, some actual resources that you can explore and utilize to be able to actually start to repair your credit. That way, you can become a whole person. That's what this space is all about. But I love each and every one of y'all, and I look forward to y'all coming back and joining me next Sunday live on the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole.